Welcome to another episode, the 6th edition of Leyland Albion Sunday League to Legend. This is YouTube, obviously. I'm Charlie and we are here on Football Manager 21. Today's episode we're doing things a little bit differently. We're starting with the game. Leyland Albion are away at Pilkington, managed by Dave Tickle. We are over at the Ruskin Drive for an English North West Counties Division 1 North fixture. There have been some changes to the team. Thomas Murphy is in. De Castro, somewhat of a yellow card machine, is out. And on the wings, I've actually brought in Thomas Stevenson Gallagher, the posh boy with the double barrel surname. He has replaced Andy Barlow, who's been a bit of a fish out of water, playing on the right in recent weeks. Not sure if Stevenson Gallagher is a good call. According to Mickey Conley, the feedback on social media, apparently it's not. But Carl Edwards, pleased to see old Diego start. Later in today's episode will be news on player movement. There has been a little bit. Somebody has left the club. Somebody else has also left, who I couldn't wait to get rid of. There have been some big results and indeed some big performances. Just as we begin, I am going to just check if our defence are supposed to be marking somebody. Always worries me when Dave Standley is due to mark somebody because he tends to stand about 10 yards off them. We're going to ask him to mark Adam Gilchrist, the former Australian wicketkeeper, I believe. That's not true. I don't know why I said that. That'll be a meme. Gilchrist playing up front for Pilkington. Now, this isn't actually that big of a game. Pilkington are about mid-table, and we are towards the upper echelons of the league as a result of those big performances I mentioned. And there has been some tactical changes. You may just see them on the screen there as Stevenson Gallagher gets a shot off on Reach's goal. Already goals going in the North West Counties Division 1 North. Afc Blackpool are ahead as Pilkington build an attack right from the back all the way to the front through Marsh, but it's cleared up. Nobody following in though, and there's the goal. Offside. Gilchrist, the wicketkeeper, finds himself offside. I thought it's marginal, isn't it? As they're Chadderton behind at Afc Blackpool. Cleator Moore ahead against Lower Breck. Take that, Lower Breck. They were the last team we faced on YouTube and we lost. So the less said about that, the better. As Stevenson Gallagher rides a tackle. Good effort by him, but it is an aimless ball upfield. Forbes in there to make the tackle. Again, these aimless high balls that go to nobody are really putting us under pressure. As I was saying, a tactical shift has seen us go to a 4-4-2 just to give us a bit more up front. We tend to do really well in the build-up to the opposition's penalty box, as we should, given that we were playing a 4-1-4-1, but then we struggled. Connor Comer, everything has been aimed at him, and if he has an off day, which he doesn't often if we're telling the truth, but if he does, we're really struggling for any traction. And there just seems to be a complete lack of urgency as the ball goes in and Stanley makes a clearance almost on his own goal line. Well played, Dave Stanley, who has come back in because Dabizas has departed. He's been snapped up. Couldn't do anything about it because obviously players at this level, they're only on 1-year contracts that quite frankly aren't worth the paper they're written on, which is something that Australian clubs are finding out at the minute, as some big name players have left their club and signed for Western Sydney Wanderers, including Bernie Abini, James Troisi and Ziggy Gordon, Scottish lad. He went from the Central Coast Mariners to the Wanderers, despite, I believe, I'm right in saying this, having signed a new contract recently. And same with Daniel Lopar, who's left Wanderers. he actually did sign a new deal. And there's the... Oh, it's another offside goal. Marsh this time. We are really being saved by this assistant here down on the far right, as Lower Breck have equalised. Never like to see Lower Breck equalised. I don't like to say this, but Pilkington are all over us, aren't they? As Contakos is called into action on about the half-hour mark. Gilchrist is a big danger, absolutely. Zhao Zarco, our assistant, giving some good advice there as Connor Comer gets up the field. Is that a corner? It certainly is. There aren't any fans behind the goal at that end, so let's hope a goal goes in there and the Stairs can celebrate. Other goals at St Helens Town, for St Helens Town even, they've taken the lead away from home, as the ball just isn't sitting for either side here. I suspect it will for Pilkington, because that's how it normally goes. Forbes on it now, back to Pell, over the top to Comer, here we go. Comer scores, 33rd goal of the season. Oh yes. Pell with a big ball over the top, defender misses his header, and Comer gets in behind. Just takes it away from the defence, just that little movement, just put it to his right, and then struck home for, as I said, his 33rd goal of the season. Great return from him, as Cartwright gets... I mean, what do you say about that? Great goal by Cartwright, well played. He just wasn't challenged. Oh, it's awful defending. Look at that. He turns in. Edge of the box. Oh, so much time and space. He could have had a coffee and a biscuit before he put that home. AFC Darwin behind against St Helens, but they've got a goal back. Fair play to them. Coulter's ball in, and there we have it. Stevenson Gallagher, double barrel surname, on the score sheet. Trent Coulter, who really has flattered to deceive in recent weeks, and almost an own goal, I'd say, but you've got to get the header in, got to get it on target, and that's what causes a bit of havoc in the penalty box. Stevenson Gallagher, a late replacement for Barlow. I did consider moving Barlow to central midfield, to be honest. I suspect if old Diego doesn't buck up his ideas, then he may be off in the second half. For Barlow, AFC Blackpool now with a 3-goal lead against Chadderton. Jamie Thomas with the third at the Mechanics. It has been a good game so far. A couple of disallowed goals, obviously, for Gilchrist, the Australian wicketkeeper, former international captain, is he? And then Marsh, obviously, on the half hour there, before goals from Comer, Cartwright for Pilkington. I want to say that I'm pleased. And the late one there from Stevenson Gallagher. Already a change made. Broadhurst is on. Bit of a danger, I would have thought, as the ball goes all the way back to our Australian goalkeeper, Contakos. Marsh offside. So 3 players currently with the old green mark there. Nope, that's gone down. 2, Coulter and Comer. Forbes may have suffered a pulled groin. Well, we've got De Castro on the bench, so let's make the change as there's the equaliser. Phil Marsh in off the upright for Pilkington. I suspect, did De Castro's injury have much to do with that? He does look like he's moving slowly, but there's 2 men around Gilchrist. Really should do better. And Contakos does get a hand to it, but can't keep it out. Substitution, let's just check if that's been made. Does not appear that it's been made. Okay, bit of a strange one. I think I've clicked it twice. Welcome to Football Manager. We're going to bring on De Castro. That was the advice, wasn't it? Murphy. Injured? I'm fairly sure that's what he said. I'm just going to encourage the boys here. As Pilkington have an attack. Pell with the clearance. He is 6'7". I would expect him to gobble those up all the time. Broadhurst out wide. We're chasing shadows here. I do not like them popping it around like this. Good sliding tackle though. And it's through. Stevenson Gallagher clears. Now Comer. And it's going to go out for a throw-in. De Castro with the ball now. Stevenson inside. It's Comer does not find the back of the net. Surprising there. He takes the corner. Doesn't come to anything. In fact, Giglio is going to mount a bit of a counter attack, but he runs the ball out of play for a throw-in. We will take that every time. Pilkington with the corner. Broadhurst, 2 arms in the air. That normally means back post. And it's Pell with the clearance. Now Walker. Now he's the one that's benefited from this change of formation. He's actually played really well. I think he's on about 14 goals for the season now, having been shifted to that central attacking role alongside Comer. So the idea was to give Connor a bit of support up front. He was doing it all himself, and if he has a bad game, that's it. We don't really get anything out of it. But if he's joined by somebody who can also make a bit of inroads in the final third, such as that, right on cue, Harry Walker with his 15th of the season. Puts it into a 3-2 lead away from home here at Pilkington. Good ball by Stevenson Gallagher. He's on form at the moment, isn't he? He's got the goal and the assist, obviously. Just going to check for offside here. I don't think there's a hint of it. No hint whatsoever. Good finish by Harry Walker. As I said, he's really the one that's benefited the movement. It has left us a bit short on the right. This is where Barlow's been playing. And unfortunately, he's not really doing it. He's not got the pace. Stevenson Gallagher, good player out on the right, but unfortunately, there appears to be an injury here for Jamie Forbes. Unfortunately, maybe right wing is somewhere where we're going to have a good look. We are going to bring on a substitute here. I'm going to bring on Francis Aliu, a young lad, but we're actually going to move Dave Stanley over to the right back position. Place they can play. We're also going to take off Stevenson Gallagher, who appears to have given his all. On comes the aforementioned Barlow. Yeah, Forbes in a lot of pain there. What? You all saw me do that, didn't you? Not going to say it's a bug in the system. Wouldn't say that. Contractually, I don't think I'm allowed to. However, you all saw me make that substitution, and then the game wants it for a second time for no reason. As Walker gets involved this time. Barlow with the cross. Oh, it's straight into reach. That's poor from the substitute. And that's why you were on the pine. As there's a big pinball effect here. De Castro, clever though, brings it down. Now Ede takes over into Coulter. He's a bit of a whiz on the ball, a wizard even. Barlow now infield. Coulter, Comer. It's over. 4-2. Game, set, and match. Another 3 points for Leyland Albion. Barlow involved here. He's going to come inside to old Diego it was. The central midfielder getting forward. He gets another assist. I believe he's top of the assist charts for the league. There you have it. No hint of an offside, except for, I think that's Walker stood there, right next to the goal line. Holker Old Boys have got the goal. They are now 1-1 against Prestwich, while Garstang are losing at the Riverside to Nelson. Chadderton have got one back against Afc Blackpool. That game's been over for a while, hasn't it? As Marsh crosses in, and this time it has to be cleared by Aliu. Good clearance, sunshine. Coulter puts the ball, Rose Ed. Surprised didn't go over the stand there. As Marsh again gets involved. Now Ede breaks free. We're in extra time already. Ball infield to Walker. And there is his 16th of the season. It's a brace for Harry Walker. As I said before, he's really performed as a striker. Both him and Comer have been getting the goals. So Ede as well, the left winger there, getting up and just drawing two defenders out towards him, making the space for Walker just inside him. Really good play there, as Broadhurst has picked up a bit of an injury here. He's a bit of a worry. As Kontakos makes another good save. Well played, that young Australian goalkeeper. We are 2 minutes into extra time, where 5 will be played, as now Walker looks for the hat-trick, and there it is. Sealing the match ball. 6 goals to 2. This is kind of how it's been for the last few games, certainly since we lost to Lower Breg. I changed the formation for the 4-4-2, and it has worked a treat. I don't know whether it's just better suited to this lower level of football, but we have absolutely blown them away. Remember when Marsh scored in the 53rd minute? Since then, it's been all one-way traffic, and we've played really well. As full-time whistle, you'll see little Charlie here celebrating on the touchline, rubbing it into the other manager. Yeah, we were, well, considering that we were 2-2 for a long while, and then it was Harry Walker with his first goal. Comer, then Walker. I mean, it's game, set, and absolute match. Man of the Match award goes to Harry Walker, I believe, narrowly over his strike partner. So as you've seen, this is the type of effect that we've had with the change in formation. So dead simple, this one. It's gone down to a 4-4-2. I am extremely pleased with the performance. Look at that. Nice green. So while we await the media reaction, it always takes a few moments, we'll just go through the transfers. So Dabizas, our central defender, the Greek young lad that we brought in, 19 years old, arrived and was a mainstay in our defence, basically replaced Dave Stanley. Certainly as soon as we signed Richard Pell. Dabizas has been snapped up. He's up and left. So this is the type of thing that can happen when you're playing in a level 10 sort of setup, as we are. Players will just get plucked from the ground and they will get taken off by bigger and better clubs. It's a thing that we do as well. You know, let's not shy away from it. However, that one was really disappointing because he's played so well for us. 19 years old, a bit of a gem, but obviously nothing that we could do about it. The other big departure has been Andy Kane. Finally, we've got him off the wage bill. So he was earning 50 quid a week. One of the few that are actually earning a regular wage here. The rest are all pretty much on appearance fees. Kane came over from Atherton when we booted them out of the league to make way for Leyland Albion, along with the likes of Connor Comer. You know, Comer obviously has done really well. Kane not really much of an opportunity because of Kontakos. Good form, you know, I can't really drop him. There's not a good reason to. So as a result, it's left Kane very much the backup. I'm not happy with that. Eventually, after about 3 tries, he has finally accepted a mutual termination. So he has left, and you can see the league table there, actually. We're going to look at this a bit later. But Leyland Albion, top of the league now by 3 points over the Holker Old Boys. Then we've got AFC Blackpool, Nelson, Lower Breck, team that beat us, are now at 34 points. Bury AFC up there with 30. Down at the bottom, unfortunately, Garstang, and then Cleaton Moor and Daisy Hill. None of those 3 teams are yet in double figures. We have actually played really well since last we were against Lower Breck. So we took that loss in the last game that we aired here on YouTube, which was on Wednesday. I think that video came out. It was a pretty demoralising defeat, and afterwards it provoked this change in the formation, which then, of course, has paid real dividends and got us back up to first place, which is where we always wanted to be. We suffered 2 losses in a row. One to the Holker Old Boys, who are really sort of pushing us now, with Connor Comer with 4 goals on that day. And then that was followed up by that disappointing loss to Lower Breck. Jay Colback seems to be one of the best strikers in the division. From what I remember, it's Connor Comer top of the shop there in terms of goal scoring, followed by Colbeck and Carl Jones, who is at Golka and scored against us earlier in the season. We had a 6-2 win over Chadderton, so never really in doubt this one. I think we were 5-0 up, and I was hoping for our first clean sheet of the season in the league. Not to be. Absolutely not. Darryl O'Brien and Seb Fernwick for Chadderton got them back sort of to a respectable scoreline. We then played Afc Blackpool, big team here in this league. Again, Walker, Comer, Ede, the big players turning up for us at Fox Lane. That was quite an interesting time actually, because we did get the Steeton game that was postponed and had to be rearranged for the following midweek because it was snowing in Leyland, which would be lovely over the holidays. We played them and it was a 7-3 thrashing. Again, conceded 3 goals. It's a big problem for us. But there we have Comer, hat-trick, Ede, score sheet again. This time Harry Walker joined by Barlow and old Diego. Cleator Moore, 4-2. Pretty solid, pretty safe. There was a lot of action in the last few minutes. 3 goals in the last 5 there. Connor Comer again on the score sheet. Richard Pell from a corner, finally paying off by putting in there at the front post. Walker, Comer on the score sheet against Ashton Town. Although I think it was 1-1 for quite a while. Certainly 1-1 at the break over Edge Green Street. But we rallied, got ourselves the all 3 points. And then we've just had this game, obviously, against Pilkington. So we are now 6 games with 6 wins. 6 out of 6. This will finish off January. And up next is February, where, obviously, don't know why that's news, we play Prestwich, Garstang, AFC Darwin and Golka. I think if we can build some momentum with wins over Prestwich and Garstang, both home games, the tough ones, then we've got really a four-game tough run. We play AFC Darwin, Golka, Bury AFC away, and AFC Liverpool all in quick succession. So within the space of, looks like about 23 days, less than that actually because it's February, then we're playing these 4 big sides, all of which are looking for promotion. Following that, we've got a couple of games down lower in the league, the likes of Daisy Hill and back up. Holker Old Boys in April will be a big one. The next game that we broadcast will actually be AFC Liverpool. That's the plan. I'm going to play 5 games off camera, same as we did this time, and then take on AFC Liverpool in that home game on the 13th of March. Hopefully by then we've got some more wins on the board. And in terms of the league, we are actually still up there because it would be great to try and aim for promotion in our first season. The board are delighted with me, I have to say. 100% backing. So I have got the little token that pops up. I think it's a token, isn't it? And as you can see, in terms of the goal scoring stats, Carl Jones has moved up into 2nd place, joint with Connor Finlayson. Average rating, that goes to Comer as well. Harry Walker, 3rd place. In terms of assists, we've got the top 2. Old Diego, our attacking central midfielder, playing a little bit out of position. And then Comer himself with 9. So things are going well in the world of Leyland Albion just at the moment. So do join us next time when we play AFC Liverpool here on YouTube. And hopefully we're still in with a shout at the title. I'll see you then.